really do have no social life. Asking if there's traffic in Chicago, Illinois at 6 p.m. on a Saturday, lol. What the hell does that have to do with social life, bro? What the heliante? What the heck?
You didn't like that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a social life, and I don't like being called out like this, but also at the same time, so what? What does that have to do with my knowledge over Chicago traffic density? Huh? It's crazy. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and MBs, we are currently on our way to Northwestern University in Chicago, Illinois, where I will be delivering a speech on God knows what. I am running on fumes right now. 2 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep, a little power nap on the plane too for another hour. So maybe a collective total of 4 hours of sleep. This is also coming off the heels of a wall-to-wall, multiple 10-hour streams monitoring the situation that's happening in Iran as the Israeli perverts are bombing Iran. So I'm already very fatigued from all of that. And also, predictably, I have not written a speech. I will be freestyling it once again. Another 20-minute speech that I will be freestyling. Maybe it'll be a little bit shorter than 20 minutes this time around, potentially, because I don't know if I got 20 minutes in me. But then followed after the 20-minute speech will be a Q&A with the students. Very excited for that proportion as well. But yeah, we'll be filming it. We'll be live and alive the entire time. And yeah, that's it. We're back in Shy City. I will not be saying the other word, the other way that Chicago is referred to as Chirac. But I do not entertain such ways of referencing Chicago as a native now. I'm basically as local as a deep dish pizza by this point. You know? You don't write your speeches because you can't read, right? Yes. I'm stupid, just like you. 960 SAT. Illiterate. Yeah, it's not Chirac no more, it's Charan. We don't need deep dish here, that's for the tourists. Northwestern is bogus. Not gonna lie, they own half the shore and don't pay taxes. You remember your SAT score? Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember that shit either.
I don't know what my SAT score is. I was making a joke about gruesome Governor Gavin Newsom. My close friend, my close and personal best friend, gruesome Governor Gavin Newsom.
We will be having another podcast soon.
Yeah, well, we don't know when. Wait, what the heck? Why is the internet pooping?
Backpack?
I don't know.
We yapping?
It's not. I can't tell if the backpack's happening or not. I just can't see.
Oh, it's definitely.
My Chatterina is not. Chatterina. Can you check on yours?
Yeah.
Because it's not loading anything for me, so I have no idea if it's live or not.
Is it making you nervous?
A little bit.
Yeah, it's live.
Okay. It's not live on my phone for some reason. And I suspected it was because of the internet. But no, it's good now. Alright, never mind. I wish you visited Northwestern when I went there, HasanAbi. Sorry, I actually came to Northwestern right after you left on purpose. Like, I did that on purpose. I think the ACT in the military told me I could be turned into biofuel for the tanks. We don't need people in LA saying they live in Chicago. It was bad enough for people from Rockford shaking my head, shaking my head. As long as speaking of rich uni kids, after speaking to billionaires and millionaires this week, my goat not beating the sold out allegations is Northwestern. I don't know anything about Northwestern's reputation.
Neither do I.
Tomorrow we'll be hanging out with Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson and the Jam Podcast boys as well, for those of you wondering. So there is that too. So yeah. I hope you updated iOS, Hasan. Why is that? You purposely also didn't trim up that beard just to annoy me? Yeah. Yeah. Chiatola. Northwestern is a very expensive private school considered pretty liberal and elite. Are we doing okay, buddy? There's this one chatter who's still talking about fucking goats. Amish people are more likely to fuck animals. Where is this? Why is the Amish catching a stray in the chat? This guy's been locked in since he saw the Jake Lang post. Holy shit, Iranian oil on fire. Ken Klippenstein clip. See this post on X, the Everything app? Yeah. The music playing in the car is kind of crazy.
Yeah, what were you saying? This is coming from some.
Yeah, this will certainly help. This will certainly help the Iranian people, of course. Ali Larijani, Secretary, Iran's Supreme National Security Council. Netanyahu called Trump on Monday before the attack and tempted him into this war. Trump admitted it. I was tempted. That's the caliber of a president of a great country. Over $1 trillion lost in the stock market in the first 5 days. Then another trillion. American soldiers dying while they lie about the numbers. 5 killed, 6 killed. Then suddenly 20 more died in an accident. You want to say America first? This became Israel first, America last. They wanted to topple our government and failed. Break Iran apart, failed. Turn our people against us, failed. Now they hit empty buildings in a hysterical state. These are the last gasps. You assassinated Iran's leader. This is unprecedented. Our missile stockpiles are fully intact. The strikes will be continuous. We will not let them go. Yeah, interesting that Donald Trump was at first going, maybe we'll work with this Ali Larijani guy. And as soon as Trump said that, he came out and was like, actually, we are not going to stop until the Zionist entity is defeated. Like shortly after Trump said that. You know?
So do you know what the subject matter of the speech is?
No.
Does it have a topic, specific topic?
No, there isn't. It's whatever I wanted to be. And my decision was...
Curricular frame mogging and ASU frame.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm going to talk about. It's a big debate. Like, I initially was going to talk about, becoming anti-imperialist in the age of fascist global dominance by the petro-capitalist pedophilic cabal. But then I decided to talk about clavicular mogging everybody after getting frame mogged by the ASU frat leader, who rose up through the ranks very quickly, as a matter of fact. I'll also talk about whether or not he was an insert from a foreign spying operation, like if he's actually the spy in the streaming world. I'll be talking about Mr. Beast's latest streamer event that he put together and how I wasn't invited because he knew that I would frame mog everyone there, including Marlon.
Mm-hmm.
obviously I'll be talking about that. You know, basic stuff, the important stuff, cover all the bases, that sort of thing, right? Clavicular Newsom interview soon. Honestly, Clavicular probably has an easier shot at getting that Newsom interview than I do, because there's been a lot of evasive maneuvering, let's just say. What? Bro, talk about Alicia Liu's bad takes where she endorsed remigration and mass deportation.
What?
Are you on crack? She did not endorse remigration and mass deportation, you fucking idiot. You saw like a white supremacist account on Twitter and you believed it.
Alicia Liu, my queen.
Speaking of gruesome gab, it's actually been quite interesting that his senior staff all did a meeting with Zionist groups yesterday, and they tried to find a good landing pad for how Gavin Newsom can basically upset both sides to the best of his ability by giving a wishy-washy substandard answer on Israel conducting a genocide with unlimited weapons and unlimited tax dollars from the United States of America and unlimited political cover from the United States of America. Very interesting. This, of course, comes 2 days after he said Israel is Israel's an apartheid state, which, of course, is the academic consensus, is the consensus among every single human rights group. It's what the International Court of Justice has declared, is what the ICC believes as well. Not that those things actually matter. It's what a coalition, I think it's like 87% of Holocaust and genocide scholars also believe in it. Believe is the correct assessment. And yet Josh Gottheimer is talking about how it's a lie and it's blood libel and it's anti-Semitism. HasanAbi, I went on a first date with this guy that kept talking about you, and I told him I was a big fan later. We were alone in his place. He revealed he hated you and was a Destiny fan. His entire YouTube history was Hasan hate videos. Very odd.
Nice.
Okay, well, you saved yourself.
Well, it didn't say that they didn't hit.
Yeah.
They did not confirm.
I don't know if you had sex or not, but... Bazen öyle görünüyor ki Hasan Piker Türk izleyicilerinin söylediklerini duysa bile umursamıyor. Onların tepkileri sanki uzaktan gelen birçok gürültüsü gibi arka planda kayboluyor. O ise hiçbir şey olmamış gibi yayına devam ediyor. Ne oldu? Ne diyor Türkler şimdi? Amerikalıları yeterince kızdırıyorum. Bir de Türkleri de mi kızdırıyoruz yani? Vay amına koyayım. Hasan harika gidiyorsun canım. What's the Asmongold Mystic thing? It's Mythical. Mythical is a talent agency co-created by Asmongold, and Asmongold has been a white supremacist reactionary for like the past 2 years now. Openly a white supremacist reactionary for the past 2 years. And finally, I guess there was a little bit of public pressure involving Asmongold and all these other organizations that he's a part of, so Mythic parted ways with Asmongold. Asmon Cattle. Is Asmongold following Nikki Fuentes and voting Democrat? No. Zionist groups, really? Yes. Really. Twitter is blocking Center on Conscience and War's X account. That's not surprising. That's not even remotely surprising. I posted about their stuff yesterday. That is for conscientious objectors, and from what I understand, even if you are already forward deployed in like Kuwait or whatever, you can still actually, it's a little bit more difficult, but you can still apply to become a conscientious objector. You know, all you need to call is that phone number. You know, if you don't want to die for Israel. If you're down for that sort of thing, that's, you know, that's up to you, I guess.
Take a power nap, Unc.
I can't. Tel Aviv peanut.
I would recommend him get into cover. Quick. What is it raining over there? Yep, raining metal. Well, never seen anything like that. Yeah. The last there is, all right. From Iran.
Dude, they're calling him.
You're saying my goat's washed?
They're calling him Israel's best talent. That's what they're calling him. I don't know.
You're saying my goat peanut's washed.
Your goat peanut is washed. You're a 30-year-old adult watching the burnt peanut.
I'm not watching.
Kind of feels like you just admitted that you're a 30-year-old adult watching a peanut avatar
He's VR chatter of the year.
go Goober Bucks or whatever the fuck he says. I don't know. He's just like, it's like peak faillennial humor.
Yeah.
It's the most coworker content I've ever seen in my entire life. Look, the cattle gotta watch something, you know what I mean? As the world is literally burning all around us, the cattle have to keep themselves preoccupied with
I put on the
something.
peanut to keep the horrors away.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it when he's bobbing his head. It's very, very funny. I love it.
It's cocoa melon for adults.
It is cocoa melon. You're right. It is cocoa melon. It's like, yeah, after a long day of being a cop, I come home, I used to beat my wife, but now I just watch burnt peanut instead, which is objectively good for the world, you know, when you think about it. Can someone link me the info for how to apply for conscientious objector? I'd like to forward this to my friends and family in the military so they don't have to die for some bullshit. It's on my Twitter account. Don't forget singing Bass Fish. There's also other peanuts that have formed as well, apparently. There's like Dr. Chudmaxer or something. There's like a guy called like Dr. Chud.
I don't want to know about that.
Yeah, it's really funny because they like, there's a video that went super viral because they like doxed him while he was playing Fortnite. Yeah, there's a peanut gallery. I saw Grimmy explaining why she thinks Mythic is skimming money from their talent contracts, but I didn't know they were associated with Asmongold. We can't withstand a war with the bungalators. Stop the bungalators.
I don't need to know more guys, man.
The bungalators. I love the bungalators, man. I do. I'm happy that they're happy.
Yeah.
Keep them preoccupied. Dr. Witnesser is the new Sheriff Peanut. Dr. Witnesser?
What does that mean?
I don't know. He's like some Christian Fortnite player, isn't he?
I'm too tired, man.
The latest plan is to try seizing the big Iranian oil terminal, Qasem Island, literally trying to plan a D-Day in half a week with 1/10 the logistical support they would need versus 40 years of Iranian planning. I mean, that's, I think they're sending the sheep to slaughter. I think that's what's going on. They want to create a very unsustainable environment in the Gulf. You missed Nazi Gold's best take yet? We just let him hit our bases because it's cheap to rebuild. Nazi cope. Asmin cope. Yeah, it's actually based when I see a $1 billion radar system that will never be rebuilt get destroyed by a $10,000 lawnmower with a fucking propeller on it. Yeah. Here comes the lawnmower grenade. Yeah, this is what I voted for. Yeah. That's right. I voted for going to war, having American troops die at the behest of Israel against a country that would harbor no resentment towards us if we hadn't interfered in their politics since 1953, who is designed, at least for the last 50 years, its entire military apparatus off of destroying a key logistical hub in the supply chain that will now completely disrupt global energy production, possible agricultural production as well, driving up costs. That's what I voted for. I voted for Trump for that reason. I was like, yes, I want my president to protect pedophiles, and I want my president to go wage war with Iran so that Israel can feel safe as it engages in its expansionist goals. That is America first, after all.
Remember what you're fighting for.
Yeah. Yeah. Based. It's a tough sell, man, but honestly, it's a tough sell if you have like 3 working brain cells, but this past week has shown me that Republicans don't have 3 working brain cells. They don't even have 1. They're just going about their day. Like tomorrow when the market's open and the gas prices keep going up and up, they're gonna be like, oh, I don't know what happened. Joe Biden, why'd you do this, Brandon? You fucking asshole, you know? It's great. Straight cattle. I watched your conversation with Asmongold about Palestine last year. Why do he sound so woke compared to... That was when he was trying to cover his ass, because he was about to get banned. Big bomb hit Israel. How much you want to bet this is AI? Let's see. Oh. It's fucking... Eugenio Suarez crushes one. World Baseball Classic. Yeah, I don't really like that there's like Israel is allowed to participate in international sporting events while they're literally creating World War III. I feel like that's not great. Yair Lapid 4 hours ago comes out. Everyone's favorite opposition figure in Israel. If you're wondering what the opposition is up to. Yeah, the Israeli left. Not really. Israel must destroy all of Iran's oil fields and energy industry on Karg Island. That is what will cripple Iran's economy and topple the regime. This war must end when the regime in Iran has fallen. The nuclear facilities have been destroyed. All of the ballistic missile industry has been destroyed. And Hezbollah has been destroyed in Lebanon. That's my opposition leader right there, man. I love democracy in Israel and the most moral nation on the planet. I love that. Isn't that great?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Where was it? We're gonna get dropped off on
The north side.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
that's where we need to be.
Yeah. You should read out the Israeli left position with an accent at Northwestern. No. What was I gonna look at? Oh. Where the heck is my... Dude, I have to pee so bad.
Gonna have to hold it, King.
Trita Parsi says, I have for years argued and written that Israel would never be content with just replacing the regime. That it always was seeking to destroy the Iranian state and much of the country to diminish Iran's ability to challenge Israel's goal of domination. But the hatred of the regime blinded many Iranians. I mean, the thing is, like, we're being... I know it's easy dunks on the Iranian diaspora, but, like, their point is utterly irrelevant, right? Like, it doesn't matter if they're fucking for or against American and Israeli intervention. It was going to happen regardless. I mean, it's okay to dunk on them, don't get me wrong. They did celebrate this. They were being fucking pretty heinous on the timeline. And there are still many who have been duped by that sort of thing because Americans are the biggest suckers around, right? Having said that, a sober assessment of the situation that's unfolded would require you to come to the conclusion that this was going to happen, whether there was 100% of the diaspora that was in opposition to military intervention or 50% of the diaspora was in opposition to the military intervention. It doesn't really matter at all. As a matter of fact, it's in the hands of the real population that matters. Israel. I mean, how can you see it as anything but that, considering that the only group of people on the planet that is supportive of this is the MAGA cattle in the United States of America by 84%, and the spiritually MAGA nation state of Israel is around the same, 86%, I believe, is the current approval rating of striking Iran. The Iranian strikes are very, very popular in the state. So I love when people go, well, Israel's a democracy, and it's like, okay, well, they're democratically fucking assholes. They've democratically organized around the principles of fascism. Who gives a shit? Can you visit Pritzker while you're here and tell him to convince to keep the Bears in Chicago? Sure. Unfortunately, it's quite popular with Iran too, at least amongst my family still in the country. Yeah, your family is in the minority, chatter. Did I not get the hotel on the opposite side of the city from the university? Yes, I did that to piss you off. It's because I hate you personally.
Real.
The chatter said, I've Instagram DM'd you my brother's handle. He can show you around. He's shown NFL players around West Loop where the party's at. I'm 34 years old.
He's about to respond right now.
How's the peeing situation?
Check DMs.
The peeing situation is very bad. Sir, we're gonna get out on the north side of the building.
North side?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you just go a little further and make a right
Yeah.
on Tech Drive. So it's your next right. No. Yeah, you just keep going up to that light and turn right.
The line
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it will be
here.
Yeah, right there.
yeah, right there, and then we're going to the
And you can just turn right on that street and then keep going. You'll see it.
yeah.
Here.
Yep.
Yeah, right here. You turn it right here.
And then just go down.
here?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
keep going all the way in. Okay. And then go all the way to the back. I think there's like 2 people there, yeah.
That's those guys right there. Okay, chat. I'm hiding you.
Yeah, yep.
Yep, this is it.
This is
Right
it,
here.
Right here.
Right
Yeah, right here. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're welcome.
Have a great night.
Good night.
What's going on, guys? Hello.
Hi, hello. I'm March.
For the heads up.
Of course. Hi.
I think on the street, you actually have to go to the bathroom. We're going to do that first.
Yeah, I have to go to the bathroom first, for sure.
It's probably super blown out. Sorry, chat. You'll go.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, he's just gonna go pee without me. What's up, guys? This camera's still hot, by the way. Just a heads up.
I will wait.
Yeah, where's the room?
It's literally right in that.
Yeah, I'll go in.
Okay,
Oh,
I'll take March in so you can get set up.
yeah. Oh, I'm at the green room,
Oh,
if there is one.
there is, but now it's like 6:40, so.
Okay, so I'll wait with something.
Okay. No, there's no one in there yet.
Oh,
The students aren't in.
no, I know, but when he comes out, I want him to be on stream still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I can hand him the camera and you can show me where I'm gonna set up, and then I'll
Okay.
do the swap as quickly as possible.
We haven't let any students in until you get set up.
Okay, great.
So it is the same auditorium he's going to be talking in, but
Great.
still.
Sounds good. How you guys doing? Good, good. Actually very tired, but good overall.
How was your guys' flight?
It was alright. It was just really early.
You gotta sorry. There's no that happening, but
He was so confused by that. Sorry, chat. Blame Hasan. He's taking his sweet ass time in there. He's got a heavy stream today. I'll talk to you guys though. Are we even effing? Let's see.
Okay.
Oh no, we're good. We're not effing. Let's go.
How big is the area?
it's fairly big. It's 500 students. Now, March.
Yes.
Hi, guys.
You have a couple places that you can either try out the balcony or you can
take whatever seats you want. I think you did reserve that center area.
Yeah, that center area I think would be fine. Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, cool.
Up to you.
Yeah, we're live already.
Yes.
We're live right now. We're streaming.
Got that chair for you. We have a few other ones, but we figured taller, so.
Okay. I can sit there. And then the Q&A portion, I just do like, I just deliver a speech, and then the Q&A portion is just like students asking questions?
Yeah, so we're gonna have a line, and we're just gonna have students come up.
Cool.
Ask you the question, then go on.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, do we
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go check them out.
I'll switch to the lobs and then just get a straight shot from the middle.
Okay.
I have the long lens on here too, so it
Yeah.
should be fine.
I'll have one lob, and then the other lob will be the student microphone lob.
And boy, they're gonna have a mic that plays in the whole room, so the lob should be able to pick up what they're saying. And if not, then I'll fix it in the moment.
Is that one on?
We have to turn it on. It should work.
You want me to turn it on here as well?
Yes.
I did. Just now.
Yeah, this one works.
Yeah, that one works.
I'll turn it on. It only has 2 bars though.
Oh, yes, this one is.
Okay, chat. Chat, I'm actually gonna swap your mic right now too.
Okay. Do you want me to turn it off for now though? Because I'm gonna be in the green room, right?
Yeah, sure. So
Oh, just kidding. We are going to the green room.
flip it on and just keep it on.
Okay, wait, how many bars?
That was 4.
I think we're gonna get the photo.
Yeah, it has 4, yeah.
Hey, I'm Mark. I'm the
What's
other
up?
president.
Nice to meet you.
We're gonna do a photo with our exec board in a second. Whenever are you good with the mic?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'll just put it on after.
Do you guys want to come up and we could do it up here? Cool.
Give me the bag. I'm gonna do a mic swap.
Okay. Or just do that.
Damn, y'all just jumped over here.
All right, chat. I'm jumping down. Oh, that is a heavy fall. Actually, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not about to eat shit on camera.
Who is a good photo? I brought a digital camera.
All right, chat. I'm changing microphones from the shotgun microphone to a lav mic that's gonna be on Hasan. So, pardon the audio interruptions. Y'all been here before, though. You guys are cool with that. You guys know how we do this. I'll let you see what he's doing.
Let's go back.
You're fitting now.
All right, chat, muting you for a bit.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
All right, you should
Good?
be good.
Can you guys hear me? I can hear.
Yeah, they can.
Okay. Bro, they do not have energy drinks here at all. That is, I'm so dead. Oh, I'm so tired. No, just here.
Put our stuff over here.
Yeah. Just right here.
Sorry.
People gonna be coming back and forth. Sure.
Wherever anything is.
It's pretty funny that this is like,
Okay, I'm gonna set up, I guess. Or just eyeball it.
no, just wait here for a little bit while they, just stay here for now, because then otherwise it's like boring. You're just like waiting for the crowd, you know?
I know.
I'm healed. The school? Somebody make a run for student store and get my man's a monster? No. What?
I'll say I'll actually I want to go there and close on this.
It's fine. I don't care.
Well, they were, and then they just started. Ah, whatever. It's all good. Just people sitting down.
Crushing a regular sized water. Take a nap before the speech? Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap right now. What are you laughing about?
No reason. Here, let's go over here.
Why?
You don't want to spoil it for them. You don't want to reveal yourself too early.
Yeah, they're gonna see me and be like, that's what he looks like? I'm out. That's what he looks like in person? Gross. No, no green room. No green room on my rider. They'll be hearing about from my manager about this. Tisk tisk.
Yeah, we're monitoring audio and watching the team.
Yeah.
How you feeling, champ?
Feeling pretty good. Feeling very tired. So, actually, I'm lying. I don't know why I'm lying. I'm not feeling good at all. I'm feeling insanely tired. But I think we'll be okay. No green rooms in the Midwest. Check your damn zipper. What? It is zipped up. What do you want? What? Did you zoom in?
This is an interactive broadcast, okay? Did you tell them about how the lady at TSA almost just left yours into on the floor?
Oh my God, I forgot about that. No, I told him the TSA story about the guy who was like, why are you not, I'm surprised you don't do TSA pre-check. And I was like, the government took it from me. And he was like, well, the government took my salary away. Fucking owned me. Yeah, they were, the lady at the TSA was like going through my stuff and was just like moving it around, shuffling it around a little bit. And then something flew out of my pocket and I didn't know what it was, but I was like, hey, can you, like, something fell. And she was like, okay. And she just didn't do anything. She like looked down a little bit and didn't even like attempt to. I was like, well, can you get, I don't know what it is. Like, it could be my wallet. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, can you please? And it turns out it was my Zintin.
She was gonna leave it on the floor.
Yeah, that would have been devastating. I would have been devastated. Take a 1 minute nap before your speech.
Okay, go ahead.
Dude is doing a 20-minute speech with 2 hours of sleep. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
How does my hair look? That's probably not looking great either.
I think it was good.
It's fine. I don't love it, but what are you gonna do? Yeah. I'm just gonna do my regular stream commentary. I've decided.
Do you need an energy drink?
Oh, you guys have?
You just texted and said you needed an energy drink.
Oh, is there any?
There's one like right around the corner. I can go grab it.
Oh, dude, yes. I'm on 2 hours of sleep right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything, any sugar-free energy drink is good.
White Monster?
Yeah, I love Monster.
Wow, white monster.
White Monster.
We are in the crowd waiting for you, twin.
Hold this real quick.
Whoa.
Just gonna grab the shotgun mic and have it on my person as a fail-safe. In the event things, you know.
Monsters BDS? No, it's not. Why do you guys always do that fake shit? And then I say that's not the case, and then you literally get into a debate, and then you like find some random. You find some like random list from like, I don't know, British Maoist contingency Palestinian BDS list, and I'm like, this is not the Palestinian national BDS list at all, and then we argue over it. Coke owns Monster, you fool. It owns 10% of it. Okay, I will spill out 10% of it at the end of it. You will do 20 minutes of live, okay, buddy? That's what I'm gonna do. There's someone in the crowd watching the stream. There's a lot of people watching in the crowd, I think. Don't irritate the boss before he's got a sleigh. Monster will fuck your stomach up. Crawl will just be looking at their phones watching. That's like peak. That's peak Gen Alpha, peak Zoomer. Instead of looking up, watching the stream on their phones. On mute. That's how Zoomers react to the world, really. No fly zone, check your zipper. Why are they keep saying that?
Don't listen to all those comments in chat. Don't listen to what everybody's been saying. You're gonna do great.
I might shock the world tonight. Okay? And by that I mean I might become the first ever. Oh hell yeah, thank you so much. I might become the first ever speaker that's ever fallen asleep mid-speech, like a narcoleptic attack.
You have to pour out 10%.
Yeah, I'll give yeah. Yeah.
There is. That year.
There you go, man.
And then do a land acknowledgement real quick.
What was the stolen land here in Chicago? I only know Tongva Nation. Walk in, you got this. You know, I'm thinking I don't got this. Rose right, thank you for the gifted.
I love how you're just an earshot of the people who put this on. They're like,
yeah.
We make a horrible mistake.
Dude, the funniest was at UBC when they were literally like, this is a very professional event. At least this is like student run, organized. Like that one was like auditorium, adults were watching, they had like a whole full spectrum coverage.
The news was there.
Yeah, the news, Canadian broadcasting was there. So like that when I just kept telling the head of the department that is like responsible for this organization, that's responsible for this entire thing that they're doing, with speakers that range from, I forget who it was, but it was like a New York Times columnist and Rachel Maddow, and then me. When I just kept saying, I didn't prepare. I'm not ready for this at all. They were like, I could see her legitimately white knuckling through it like, what the fuck? What are you looking for?
Let me get a hit, dog.
Yeah. Get a little taste.
Escaping 100 years of the century of American civilization. Where's the white monster?
You weren't getting invited again, little bro? You should have traveled yesterday. Oh my God, why didn't I think of that, dude? Oh, that's right, because the entire world is collapsing all around us, okay? And I have to do full spectrum coverage.
You should start doing meth.
That's true, I should be meth maxing, kind of like my boy Clavicular. My goat Clavicular, he meth maxes. And he also stays low cortisol because he likes to balance it out with beta blockers. Top of the hour, to remind you, yeah, top of the hour every hour, ladies and gentlemen. Please subscribe. If you want me not to fail, subscribe now, which you can do for free. To the Biker Podcasting service, you can subscribe for free with a Twitch Prime, or with a $6 month subscription, or you can gift subs. Unfortunately, there's no soundboard that I can hit, but if 1,000 people subscribe right now, I'll hit a fa in the middle of the speech. How about that?
Please don't do that.
I know one of those kids got coke on him.
Oh, definitely.
Get those gifted subs rolling. Damn, they're coming in.
There you go, King. That helped. Did that scratch the itch a little bit?
Yeah, I haven't hit it all day. I haven't hit it all day. I don't have my soundboard with me. I feel naked.
You don't have your emotional support soundboard?
I need it.
You have the kid with, from Bob's Burgers.
Kid from Bob's Burgers?
See that?
No.
With you as the kid from Bob's Burgers with the soundboard. Chat, somebody has to have that. Please, somebody send that to him.
Not the white monster, bro. This is sustenance. This is life, dude. It's Agartha memes are real. I'm ready for the world down under.
So I never introduced myself formally. I'm Ethan. I'm the person who's been in contact with David and everybody.
Oh, hell
So I
yeah.
was just wondering if I could take a picture with both you and Marge.
Yeah, of
I've
course.
been watching for like 6 years.
Damn.
That's crazy.
That's so. What were you like 13 when
I
you
was
started
like
watching?
15 and I'm 21 now.
That's crazy.
That's insane. Chat, say. Chat, you were in that.
Yeah, no, I mean, shout out chat advice and stuff.
Hell yeah. I hope that was helpful.
I got my girlfriend out there right now.
So damn,
Oh my
stud,
God.
stud. How many haters do you think will be in the crowd?
A lot less than you would think.
Really?
Actually, I saw like one of like my friends who also watches. He was like at the gym with some guys who don't really know much about you, but they're coming because they like you and Nick Fuentes, and they wish you guys could like team. Apparently, they think that you guys would get along and that you would.
We would not. I don't think.
We have a lot of people who are into just like social media and that type of thing, so they just think.
Oh, so no like Israel counter demonstrators?
We have a few people, but they're less bold now.
And when I did UBC, we did this massive event. I don't know if you saw. And apparently, like first the CIJA, it's like the Canadian APAC.
Is that they try to get you?
Yeah, they tried to get me banned from entering the country. They failed on that. So they did like a counter event for like 20 people. And then, you know, some, like it was like the Canadian version of Jewish Insider wrote an article about it being like two battling, one campus, two battling narratives. Like they brought in dangerous anti-Semite Hassan Piker to campus. Like they gotta hand it to them. They don't give up on this guy's an anti-Semite narrative.
Well, I mean, we approach it from if they want to come ask you the question, right? They can. So I feel like if they have any disagreements, they're gonna come open battle. And you have no restriction on what you can say either. So unless like they start being disrespectful or whatever.
Yeah.
How far out are we from?
We're expecting at 7:10 that we start the speech. So we have like a few minutes, but
I mean, it's fine. I just wanted to get an idea of when I should run out there.
we're kind of just keeping an eye on. If you want to see how many people, we still haven't filled the balcony. Started filling the balcony. We're almost done with the first level, but because we're scanning everyone's student IDs. So I think that's.
There's like 10 people out there, bro. You got no motion.
Yeah. It's over, chat.
There's no one there.
Oh yeah, the soundboard's in addition.
Thank you. See, this is why I do it. It's for
I feel
Ethan.
like I'm the target demographic.
Exactly. All the unks in the chat, they're like, meh. I don't like it. No, they all love it now too. Actually, they all spam fall every time.
They've come around.
Yeah, especially I deleted TikTok and like Instagram. I'm
Nice.
trying to get off social media, so that's like my fill of edit type stuff. That's the only
That's
time I
his.
do this.
That's the brain rot you get.
Yeah,
is
that's
through
like
his soundboard.
my daily dose of brain rot is through the soundboard.
That's crazy. Why? So you deleted TikTok and Twitter?
Yeah, Twitter and Instagram.
Well, Twitter makes sense, but TikTok is crazy. Well, I guess TikTok sucks now, actually.
Yeah,
It literally has like dramatically altered my For You page.
Oh, I remember the first day after the sale, it literally was showing me videos I already liked from like 2 months ago.
Yeah, or it was showing me like Charlie Kirk memorial videos that had like 10 likes. I was like, there's no shot that there is.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Do you want? You're gonna be. We have a seat.
Yeah. I already have a spot that I'm gonna go to.
All right, perfect. Thanks.
Yeah, we're just trying to keep it here for as long as we can until the room fills up, like right before you guys start, so there's no downtime.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. About like a minute or two before I'll run out there and just prop up. But your mic will still be hot and everything.
Yeah. I still think it's garbage and don't like it, but I've had to deal with it. That's a crackhead right there.
Check outside.
Oh, here's the Boss Burgers Eugene meme. Thank you, Chatter. Well,
March, if you need anything, just give me a text or call. I'll be back.
Oh.
well, it's kind of too bright, but yeah, they've all seen this.
It's funny.
It's the original.
Okay, well.
I'll lower it.
Well, you guys might not like it, but this is what peak performance is all about, all right? I'm hitting the fuzz. Down under. I really hope that Monster saves me a little bit. Because if
it'll get you to the hard part.
Yeah.
Then you have to go back to the hotel and do another 3-4 hours of news coverage, right?
I would rather put myself in a trebuchet and launch myself directly in the vicinity of the nearest spiked rails and die. Caffeine take an hour to kick in, Keck, wait. Well, okay, then it's the Red Bull that's kicking in right now.
That's also just not true.
Yeah, I don't think so. Cook Bro is not gonna be Lennon today. Monsterları işten sonra yayınlardaki girdiği gibi gelme konuşurken. Turkish Shatter says, you son of a bitch, you better not burp like you always do after you drink that Monster energy drink while you're delivering the speech. I thought about that. Imagine I just burp around. That's when we know if the entire audience is just HasanAbi Heads or not, because they'll be like, they're used to it. Chatter clocked you so bad? Yeah. At least I'm not stressed. I'm too tired to be stressed. Still chopped? Still chunk?
Yeah, still chunk. There's no one out there.
I heard the weave gets stronger, retired, and delirious.
True.
Hasan, you should check out the Mexican Museum with Marche and show him his roots. Marche is Asian,
Yes.
so I don't know what the frick you're on about.
Also, why is there a Mexican museum in Chicago?
Chicano. That's where it comes from. Little known fact. There's a large Mexican community up there. I found out that there's just Mexicans everywhere.
Yeah, we made it everywhere.
What do you mean we?
They made it everywhere.
Yeah. Chicago has one of the largest Mexican populations in the United States. Shit ton of Mexicans in Chicago. What the fuck do you know? That just doesn't make sense. Because Chicago is such a spiritually Polish part of the country. And it doesn't fit in my theory of the closer you are to the Southwest, the more Mexican you are. And the closer you are to the Northeast, the more Italian you are. Chicago somewhere in between would be the Polish. So, because it doesn't fit my theory, I'm gonna respectfully tell you that there aren't any Mexicans in Chicago.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Most per capita out of a big city besides LA? Huge Mexican pop, you mega dumbass. Okay, why are people getting mad at me? I'm fucking around. I'm not being serious. Also, there's one Mexican from Chicago. His name is Nick Fuentes, so that's the only Mexican I know from Chicago. Chicago's the birthplace. All right, we're good? All right, you get it down there.
Should we do the lights? The canvassers from Cat with all his teams for the show.
Yeah, we had to tell. Well, they also
They're
lied to us.
Yeah, they try to lie and say they're students, but they're like 40 or 50 years old.
What were they doing here?
I don't know. They were showed up with pins and flyers.
I think they wanted to hand out flyers, but they said they were invited in, which wasn't true. They said that they were students, which wasn't
Then
true.
he's trying to say he had a wild card. He showed a different universities.
That's crazy.
Which one is which lights?
It's the third to bottom. So
Okay, excuse me, sorry.
Are you good to go?
Alright, you ready?
Damn, everybody got quiet real quick. Nice.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. My name is Clark. I'm co-president of the Political Union. Here's Mark, who's also co-president. This is Ethan. He's an organizer for tonight's event. Thank you all so much for coming out. Thank you to our support staff for setting up this speaker event. And thank you to all for coming to tonight's event.
Yeah, so I'm just going to talk a little more about the political union. So we're Northwestern's only nonpartisan political forum on campus. We meet every Monday at 7 p.m. at South Hall 201 to discuss relevant political topics of our time. And we also do events like this one. So if you're interested, we'll be sending out our lister or just come to South Hall 201 on Monday at 7 p.m.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, HasanAbi.
Okay. Sorry, this is, I'm running on fumes here. I apologize. I just got in from Los Angeles earlier in the day, and I have like 2 hours of sleep. So I basically just slammed a White Monster energy drink. So that's the only thing that's giving me life currently. All right, okay. Very professional. How's everybody doing tonight? The world is on fire. I've had a very busy week, and because of that, predictably, I failed to write a speech before I got here. When I was first told that I was going to be speaking in Northwestern, I was like, all right, you know what? I did UBC like a couple weeks ago. I went out there, no preparation whatsoever, and I thought to myself, you know, I'm going to fail on that speech, but this time in Northwestern, I'm going to deliver a really nice one that I wrote ahead of time. And then, of course, America and Israel decided to bomb Iran and nuke the global energy market, which caused me to unfortunately focus all of my efforts on, doing round-the-clock coverage on that. So sincere apologies ahead of time, but you can cook me on the Q&A portion of this entire event in a little bit. But one of the things I've been thinking about quite a bit as of late is the idea of revolutionary optimism at a time when things seem so devastating. People's material conditions are collapsing. Many of you are going to graduate into a horrifying job market. I apologize for reminding you. And the future seems not so bright for many Americans. Many Americans from all different backgrounds and all different ages. I feel like long gone are the days of American prosperity, and the trajectory that we're headed down is complete collapse of the liberal New World Order that was designed in the aftermath of World War II. And fascism is making a big-time comeback, both here in the United States of America and certainly in a lot of Western liberal capitalist democracies. You got the rise of the AfD, you got the Reform Party, which apparently wasn't even racist enough for Elon Musk, so he went and created another one. I think it's like Defend Britain or something. And the right around the globe is taking advantage of the instability, constantly focusing people's angst, their animosity, their anger, as a direct consequence of the diminishing material quality of people's existence, and reorienting that anger back to migrants, trans people, numerous other vulnerable targets that rarely ever get defended, both in mainstream media and in just in general in politics. And unfortunately, there is not a real alternative on the liberal front. Many of the ruling parties all around in both parliamentary democracies and here in the United States of America have fallen short of what is a necessary response to combat the growth of fascism. American imperialism is dominating the planet with the Donroe Doctrine in Latin America and all of the events that are unfolding in Iran right now in the MENA region. It seems like the future is not so great. And in spite of all of that, I do think that this is an opportunity that is very unique. I've gone all around the country. I've been around the world. I go and attend these protests that are taking place everywhere. And one thing that I see from all the people that I talk to, from different backgrounds, people your age, all the way to people who are like 60 years old, 70 years old, there is this real palpable anger. They want change. They don't know how to communicate it effectively because the alternative of socialism has basically been destroyed in many of these Western countries. But I think it is this now more than ever, I truly believe that there is a really unique opportunity to organize and to show people that we do have that power. And I fear that if we don't do that, if we don't seize on this opportunity, come the midterm elections in the United States, and you see this with the Green Party rising in the UK as well, if we don't organize against fascism, I feel like we're going to succumb to fascism. And in spite of everything that's horrible, the unique opportunity for organizing presents itself, and there have been some moments of success. The election of Zoran Mamdani. Does everybody like Zoran Mamdani in here? I had to get a cheap applause break there, because the election of Zoran Mamdani and all of the successful initiatives of pushing back against Trump's authoritarian rulership here in the United States of America, from Minneapolis, Minnesota to all around, the pushback that the public, sorry, you want to, yeah, you can give yourself applause here if you want. I don't know, you guys are in Chicago, but I mean, it happened in Chicago too. But the people are rising up. They're pushing back against the government. They're coming to terms with the reality that if no one's coming to save us, we will save us. And there have been some successes in spite of all of the horrible excesses that we have seen. And I urge all of you in this moment to hold on to those glimmers of hope, to those pockets of hope, no matter where they might be, and keep pushing forward, because in the absence of people like yourselves, open-minded people, like-minded people, organizing, demonstrating solidarity, protecting people in your communities, we're not going to make it. But that's basically what I'm here to talk to you about today. And on that note, we can get to the Q&A portion of this. Thank you so much.
So we'll have 2 lines for questions, 1 in each aisle. So whoever wants to ask a question, just walk up to the other clock.
Do I choose or do you guys choose? Okay, I can't hear you.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I wanted to start us off with a lighthearted question. I know you're a Zinner. Do you prefer the Swedish Zins or the American Zins?
Oh, American all the way. American Zins all the way. I've tasted the Swedish ones. I feel like it just doesn't taste as good. I don't know what they put in the American ones. Maybe it's probably the chemicals. I'm a big fan of that. I'm like the anti-RFK Jr., where I love chemicals. Give me more chemicals. Thank you. Go chemicals.
All right, what's up? My name is Zach. Thank you for being here. My question was a little bit more serious. So, at Northwestern, you may or may not know, there's a big Jewish population. I myself have a lot of friends that are Jewish, that have been to Israel, and that's important for them. I was wondering, like, how would you recommend I approach having conversations with my Jewish friends, or like posting on social media, without like breaking off the friendship, but also not sugarcoating a genocide?
Okay. I mean, the states are totally separate from the people, right? I mean, we have a lot of disagreements with the MAGA movement here in America. I mean, they're basically cattle. And yet, you know, you can have reasonable disagreements with your loved ones over, you know, how much they love Donald Trump, no matter how much he keeps fucking shit up. Sorry for cursing. It's similar to Israel as well. It's the same conversation when it comes to Israel. It's a nation state that is entirely dependent on American tax dollars to commit untold amounts of atrocities, and atrocities that range beyond the post-October 7th genocide that Israel has been committing. I mean, this is an apartheid state that is universally considered an apartheid state by 87% of Holocaust scholars, and academics, genocide scholars, and virtually every human rights organization. I think regardless of the programming, regardless of the social conditioning, I think you shouldn't give up on your friends and try to have normal conversations with them about how they probably don't care about Israel as much as they think they do. Because if they did, they'd probably live there. Like, that's just the truth. Because the reality is, like, I have friends who used to be Zionists who are anti-Zionist now, and I have a lot of people in my community that used to be Zionists and are no longer Zionists. And one of the things that, at least I found success in communicating is, like, you think you love this country. It's an important part of your upbringing. It's an incredibly important part of, like, community building amongst young American Jews in general. But the reality of the matter is the state actually incentivizes people. Like, the Israeli state wants people to go and live there, right? That's a big part of what birthright is. And yet many people still choose to live in Beverly Hills and Sherman Oaks and Boca Raton and New York. That's because you're American. You're an American citizen and you love living here. So I don't know, I feel like stressing that aspect of it is probably one of the more successful ways that you can have this conversation. Thank you.
Thanks for bringing it on, John. I got two questions, one long one and one short one. Recently, I saw a creator that I like make a pretty harsh but convincing argument about media consumption. She claimed that a lot of political content, I'm thinking, well, including commentary on like movies, shows, and other mass media, including like Avatar or Parasite, function mostly as emotional catharsis rather than producing actual material change. As someone who works partially in that ecosystem, what do you think about the line between political media that mobilizes people versus media that just pacifies them? And what are some concrete ways that folks here can convert media consumption into meaningful political action?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's correct. I think media is just media. If you're enjoying, it's normal to enjoy movies, and it's fine to enjoy movies and listen to music. I mean, I don't really listen to music, but that's my fault and failure. But as far as media being used as a tool for activism, I would say that movies can actually change people's perspectives quite a bit. They can be quite impactful. However, it's just one of the many different parts of this puzzle. Like engaging in broad awareness initiatives through your art is a wonderful thing, but it's not the whole game, right? I feel like systemic change requires people firing off on all cylinders and working every single day tirelessly to make that change. And you can play that role with the art that you're creating. But at the end of the day, it is still for entertainment. But that's still a good thing. I mean, it's a part of experiencing joy, right? I don't know what else to say about it. To claim that it's like creating catharsis, or to claim that it's just like unproductive or making people forcing people to shift away from activism is also incorrect.
One last one. As a Mr. Progressive Mind in a MAGA body, are you willing to silence the haters and show the world that the M Marxist stands for muscle? We got that many. Pull up to our school gym after this. It'll be good acting problem. We'll show them how to
If I went to the gym after this, I would die, I think.
You just turned a true believer. You just lost one.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna this on now. Sorry.
Next time.
Hi, Hasan. I wanted to ask you about, well, I'll say this. So, you identify as a leftist. And I think in the United States, there's this tension between whether or not to keep doing Democratic Party entryism and to actually form a robust third leftist party. And I was wondering, really, at what point do you see yourself being part of the actual formation of a third alternative leftist party that has total financial independence from the Democratic Party? Because, I mean, frankly, at this point, it seems that continuing to work within the Democratic Party is not working, is ultimately going to fail. And actually, I mean, this has been theorized for at least 150 years that you cannot work within bourgeois parties for a true leftist movement to succeed. So at what point do you think start advocating for that to your followers or your large audience?
Yeah, it's a great question. And it's one that I've thought about quite a bit. It's one that I've answered also endlessly, but I'll do it again. What America lacks at this moment is class consciousness. And without class consciousness, you can't arrive at any sort of revolutionary organizing. It doesn't materialize out of thin air. In order to activate the masses, you have to go to where the masses are, and you have to speak the language that they can understand. And in our current two-party system, where we have two major parties, and one very ineffective, very weak or controlled opposition party, and one fascist party, given the time constraints that we have, I try to take advantage of the availability of the Democratic Party to communicate my message to as broad of an audience as possible. And I think we've seen some success with that. Bernie Sanders ran, although he's an independent, he ran as a Democrat in 2016, and I think that was a big part of the reason why the DSA started gaining a lot of momentum. Same with AOC. I think the Democratic Socialists of America got their largest amount of membership after AOC's victory, the underdog victory of AOC. And then once again with Zohran Mamdani, DSA reached 100,000 members. Now, DSA currently still also operates in a similar function, right? It still operates as a entryist party. It doesn't have its own real working, totally separate party. And that is partially because we still don't have the numbers. Approximately 40% of Democrats now self-identify as Democratic Socialists, but these things take time, right? And there is a lot of political education necessary for the masses to start really understanding what that means. Because right now, for a lot of people, when they say, oh, I'm a Democratic Socialist, I have a friend whose 65-year-old mom has started referring to herself as a Democratic Socialist, but she doesn't know what that means. You know, she just thinks like, oh, it's like a cool Democrat, like a different, younger Democrat. For many, it also just means social democracy. Obviously, it's something beyond that, right? It's we're supposed to be agitating and we're supposed to be changing the system, the economic organization of society away from capitalism to socialism. There's many different ways of doing it. But like I said, given that we live in the imperial core, given that we have no class consciousness after 100 years of the destructive force of devastating labor initiatives and through the Red Scare, completely removing the left alternative, the socialist alternative from American political consciousness, we still have a long way to go. Or at least that's what I see for the time being. But there will come a time when I think...
And if you've popped off kind of, but like I don't know how to, I kind of want to break into like Twitch streaming a bit. And I was wondering if you had advice on how to do that. Because in 2026, I feel like when you start Twitch streaming, there's like no one there.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
You just have, it's first of all, I would recommend you don't do that, but it's brain rotting. It's a horrible experience. But if you're gonna do that, my recommendation is you keep clipping yourself, like fake clips basically off of your Twitch stream, and just hope that they go viral. And then the more that they go viral, the higher the likelihood that you'll have real organic viewership coming into the Twitch platform. Because the Twitch platform is horrible for discovery. You're not gonna be able to make it on Twitch alone. That just doesn't happen. Even if you were to start on the platform, you still have to collaborate with a lot of people, create a network, and maybe even like go on shows or whatever people do on the platform. I don't even do any of that anymore. So. And try to make a name for yourself that way. But like I said, discoverability is so ass on Twitch that you definitely should focus on TikTok and every other social media platform you can to funnel people back into your Twitch streams.
All right, thanks, Hasan.
No problem.
I really like how that other kid like up the stage to the Q&A by joining the Mossad after he didn't like your answering question. So we'll see what I do after this. Just wondering, you have a wide set of political beliefs that you believe in, very ardently. I'm wondering, can you give like an overview of what you would say are the philosophical underpinnings of those beliefs, and like what those, let's say, first principles are grounded in?
Okay. Yeah. Sure. I feel like you're gonna join Mossad too after this. Empathy first. That's what it is. I want to improve people's material conditions. I want to live in a society where everyone can prosper. I feel like there is a lot of organic potential that gets lost all around the world, not as a consequence of some kind of like genetic setback or anything like that, but specifically as a consequence of what their spawn point is. And I want to improve that for everybody else by having by building more egalitarian society so we can truly advance. Avoidance of unnecessary conflict and a hope for a more prosperous future. Those are some of my first principles. As far as like my own personal ideology, I guess I'm a leftist because I see no reason to make a distinction between different ideological tendencies on the Marxist side or the anti-capitalist side, especially because most people don't even understand what that is. So my goal is to try to engage in agitation to the best of my ability so that people can go on their own journey and first and foremost recognize class consciousness, their class position.
Hi Hasan, thanks for coming out. This is super exciting. So I want to start with that I ethnically identify as half Iranian, half Pakistani, which is two groups that America has consistently undervalued, devalued the lives of, villainized. So something I've been grappling, and what I want to ask you is, how do you find belonging in a country that seems so intent on despising this what's inextricable about your identity?
It's a great question. So I think America has a lot of unfortunate white supremacist ideology that's baked into its fundamentals. But America also is an incredibly diverse country. It's a nation of immigrants at the end of the day. It's a nation that was built off of settler colonial genocide, indigenous genocide, and chattel slavery, but it also happens to be one of the most, if not the most diverse nation on the planet, entirely comprised of immigrants. So the bad part about it is that, unfortunately, when people identify with this American identity, sometimes they lean into the white nativist side of things. But there are so many people who recognize their immigrant background and all the culture that brings to the table, and therefore, you find a lot of like-minded people from all different parts of the world. And I think the best way to grapple with that is by finding your own people, right? Finding people from different parts of the, finding people from different cultures that you can identify with and engage in a mutually beneficial relationship with. At least that's what I've been able to do, and that's what I think is successful.
Hi Hasan, I've been watching you since like 2020, and I feel like there's a good chance that I wouldn't be studying political science right now if it wasn't for you, so thanks for that.
I'm so sorry.
You've said that the left should be better at manufacturing outrage. What does effective outrage look like to you without sliding into the same bad faith tactics that you criticize on the right?
When I say the left should be better at manufacturing outrage, I'm not saying the left should be outrageous. What I'm simply talking about is that the system is outrageous, right? The conditions that we currently live under are outrageous. In the last 7 days, we've spent approximately $20 billion, this is a conservative estimate, destroying the lives of tens of thousands of Iranians at the behest of a foreign nation called Israel that is now completely in the driver's seat of our Middle East and North African foreign policy. $20 billion is quite a bit of money. I mean, a lot of people's student loan debt could be relieved that way. That's healthcare, that's building rural hospitals, that's roads. Like, how can you not be outraged at that, right? So what I try to stress to people is just like, there is this anger that exists. People understand that their situation is not getting better. And they're somewhat rudderless. And I feel like the right takes advantage of that anger and redirects it back to vulnerable populations. And what we should do as leftists is to redirect anger to a more productive output to those who actually do control the levers of power, the forces of capital in general. And that's what I mean when I say the left should get better at manufacturing outrage.
Hey Hasan, I'm Rowan Sharma. Thanks for all the talking points I used in high school debate and at Thanksgiving. Thanks. I'm an RA on campus, and this year our Northwestern leadership has dissolved or reorganized departments related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And all parts of my role have been shifted from DEI to community well-being. How can we operate within systems that capitulate to fascism and still make radical change? And should we continue to exist in these institutions or make change from the outside?
That's a great question. I mean, these are hurdles, right? But you just got to push through them, and you have to be stubborn, and there's honestly nothing else that you can do. I don't think that like leaving the institution or organization is helpful. I mean, there are some organizations where the entirety of the output is bad, right? Like if you're like asking me to join the American military or something, I'd be like, don't do that, right? But as far as like your college campus, you just have to be steadfast, and you have to continue pushing no matter what, and that change will come. And it might shock you at how, you might be shocked with how successful you are at the end of that. Because these guys, I mean, reactionary forces they're a paper tiger. They don't really have the investment. They don't have the social investment. They don't have the masses. It's a fleeting thing. What you have is a defense of your loved ones, a defense of a diverse student body that you want to protect, and that gives you an upper hand in the conversation when you're organizing, and therefore it's impossible for you not to win unless you give up. So what I always tell people is just be stubborn, be steadfast, and keep pushing through it no matter what.
Let's go on. So I guess building off that last question, I feel like there are kind of two main obstacles to creating progressive change on a national level. And one is like the lack of class consciousness, cultural inertia, money in politics. But then also, like you said, there's structural obstacles to a third party. The Senate, the Supreme Court, the Electoral College are all kind of set up in ways that limit the ability to create progressive change. So how do you accomplish systemic change within existing power structures that are kind of set up to limit the ability to create change?
It's a great question. So you're absolutely right. There are immense structural hurdles to overcome, but the best way to overcome it is by mobilizing the masses. Whether it be, again, pushing back against the fascist state, deploying its own version of the Gestapo to dominate your neighbors and kidnap them. The only way to overcome great odds is by organizing. We don't have the systems in place right now. We have a labor movement that is somewhat corporate captured and is a vestige of the Democratic Party for the most part. And instead of actually pressuring the Democratic Party, it more so just operates as a electoral vehicle for the Democratic Party, and it's even failing at achieving that goal too. But that is where we have the power. Disrupting the forces of capital is, at the end of the day, exactly where we have all the power. Work stoppages, making demands be known, and harming capital interests. That is how we win. So that's why I focus a lot of my initiatives on the labor movement in general.
Hi Hasan, I'm a big fan of every outfit you wore in the mid to late 2010s. My question is about candidate evaluation, I guess, and I'm specifically contextualizing this with Tom Steyer and these sort of progressive populist candidates who kind of come from unorthodox places. When I think about Steyer and him being a billionaire but having a platform that would materially benefit the people of California, how do we as progressives balance the sort of ethical implications of welcoming a billionaire into the camp and supporting his candidacy with the immediate material concerns that could be alleviated by some of his policies? And where do we kind of draw that line for what we're willing to tolerate from these candidates, from your perspective?
Yeah, so two things. One, you have a billionaire governor in the state, right? And he's actually somewhat beloved from what I understand. I mean, he's fine. He's a billionaire at the end of the day. You gotta keep him at an arm's distance, but he has done all right as far as judging his performance with the rest of the governors around this country. The other thing I'll say is that every establishment Democrat and every Republican is also a servant of capital. They are also servants of billionaires. You're almost cutting out the middleman in some respects if you have a direct billionaire. Is he going to accelerate late-stage capitalism? I mean, he already won. He's already doing that, right? He can get that with Eric Swalwell, for example. So I don't see a serious material difference between a run-of-the-mill Democrat versus someone like that. Having said that, I think Tom Steyer has some unique ideas that shouldn't really be unique, and ideas that people like Bernie Sanders have also advocated for. So you have to just look at their policies and figure out whether they're earnest or not in terms of achieving those policies, figure out if they're serious and sincere, and make that decision no matter what their background is.
Hey Hasan, I'm ND, and you kind of referenced this already about how cooked the job market is. That's due in no small part to artificial intelligence and advances in that space. And with research coming out of Anthropic, it's kind of suggesting that some point in the future, autonomous systems are going to be capable of doing most of, if not all, work. And we're going to be in this period of abundance. But I don't think our current system is prepared for a post-work society. So what does a post-work society look like for you?
I think it was Stavros Halkias who said the robots are supposed to be doing the menial labor and we're supposed to be doing the art, but somewhere along the way the robots started doing the art and we're still doing the menial labor. That's not because technological innovation is bad. Technological innovation is good, right? It's just that technological innovation under capitalism is one that displaces the existing labor force and creates downward pressure on wages and benefits and is horrible for the masses in general. So work society will look like, I mean, I've seen it in movies, right? Like the Star Trek universe comes to mind, but that's not the society that we live in currently. So we just have to, I keep repeating myself over and over again, but we just have to keep organizing for that future to make sure that that instead of having masses turn into biofuel for the capital-owning class, we demand a bigger piece of the productive output that we're putting out there. If you have a new tool that makes you a more productive laborer, that means if 5 people can now do the job of 10, that means 5 people are getting fired. But this new radical vision of how the economy should be organized is where 10 people actually just work half the time. And I think we can ask for that. I think we should ask for that. And the only way to make that demand is by creating the necessary systems, labor unions and the like, to make sure that we reconstruct the way workplaces operate in this country.
Hi, Hasan. Oh, sorry, that was loud. But hi, Hasan. My name's Xander. I'm a first year here at Northwestern, and you are absolutely right. The world is on fire. IQ levels are decreasing. AI is becoming more powerful, and I am overwhelmed. I'm a pre-med student. I don't have all the time in the world to really, tackle all these issues at once, and I really, really, really want to. And I keep hearing that we have to organize, and I know we have to organize. I know that it's like, we're the young generation. It's in our power to actually make the change that we want to see in the world. But my biggest question to you is how? What is one real tangible way that we, as a Northwestern community, can begin to organize? This is honestly an open question to everyone. I'm willing to talk about it with people after this. But I think it's so important that we actually begin to start having conversations, and more than just conversations, start meeting and actually start organizing. But I'm just unsure of where to start. Sorry, I do have 2 questions.
I mean, YDSA is a pretty good starting point, I would say. Democratic Socialists of America is a pretty good starting point. I mean, there's a lot of, you can organize around mutual interests as well, and go from there. But as far as political organizing, I would recommend that DSA, joining your local campus DSA organization. I hope that was good enough. I don't know. I feel like you're a little disappointed. Arm the masses. Now, let's do it. We got red armbands at the door.
Front lines with me?
What's up?
Let's see you on the front lines with me?
Yeah, well, I'll be there.
Okay, and my second question to you is, one of the only things that we can keep doing, is just people in the world. It's overwhelming. You can only keep living it. I gotta say, you really haven't lived until you tried Lisa's burrito soup. Hey, come and get Lisa with us afterwards.
Okay, all right, I will try.
You will try?
Yeah.
Was he there?
Why are people booing? Everyone's booing. What's happening?
All right, thank you.
I'll make Mauricio try it.
Hi, Hasan. I just have, it's more of a specific question, but I wanted to ask what you believe.
It's the bare minimum that we should be fighting for, 100%. Failure doesn't mean anything, but I will say, the very fact that after all that organizing, that it still ends up failing, is, I think, indicative of how powerful the divestment initiatives actually are. Because if it wasn't, they would just go, all right, we're divesting, right? But the very fact that divestments are an incredibly powerful tool that student organizers can advocate for, and that is the reason why there's so much pushback against it. So I definitely urge BDS, urge people to follow BDS and continue pushing for divestment initiatives, regardless of how many setbacks you receive. It's important. It's not only the moral thing to do, but it's also very successful. It has been successful in the past with apartheid South Africa, and that is precisely the reason why Zionist groups spend a good deal of time trying to infiltrate and try to push back on these sorts of initiatives. So yeah, keep up the good work, for sure.
I actually met you 2 summers ago at the DNC protest. So I have one quick question and one slightly medium question. The quick question is, what was your favorite food you had in China?
Ooh. What was it? We had this is it don noodles that we had that was you made it yourself, and you put it together yourself, you constructed it yourself. That was probably my favorite.
Okay, great. And then the, I don't know, weird, but not you, me. The second question is, with the opposition to this war, we've seen a lot of people take like a procedural opposition to it. From one, Democratic politicians, which I think are being malicious in that they're doing it on purpose, but then there's also liberal people who are just like, people who are just believing it because they've been conditioned to think that way. How do we get people to stop thinking in terms of, like, if Congress approved it and it was through the right process, that it would be okay for some reason to do a imperialist, illegal, evil war? You know, how do you convince people that that's not the way you should be looking at it? You should be looking at it as wrong because of what it's doing.
Great question. So, I think we got to give people more credit. I think that, like, people have broad opposition towards war in general, but when that's the only acceptable lane of opposing war, that's what they lean into. As far as the party goes, of course, I mean, a lot of these people are charlatans. There's a rotating villain structure within the Democratic Party that specifically always finds just enough votes to not pass like the war powers resolution. So even if their opposition is on the procedural front, they still find a way within the caucuses to ensure that even that bare minimum procedure doesn't pass through. And that's where, agitating and that's where organizing actually comes into play. Go to town halls and call your congressperson, go to town halls. It will shock you how successful that stuff is. Once again, these guys don't really talk to normal people at all. They have lobbyists on speed dial that go to all these events they go to, closed door events, where they're fundraising. So that's who they end up talking to. But if they actually have to address their constituents, they find out that no, their constituents are actually very pissed off about this, and the lobbyists were lying to them. Not to say that all the congresspersons are hapless, but plenty of them actually are. And you have to make sure that you are unavoidable. You have to become an unavoidable force, and you have to let your anger and discontent be known. But yeah, as far as like regular folks goes, I think most people do have an opposition to war on moral grounds. But one successful method for at least like Americans who tend to be on the selfish side is to talk to them about the dollar value. If they don't care about the humanity of the people whose lives are being destroyed, talk about the fact that, they always tell you, isn't it weird that they always tell you we don't have enough money for healthcare? But then Donald Trump is just like light $100 billion on fire and destroy the global economy for no real discernible reason other than following along, Israel's destruction agenda. It's ridiculous. And I think that's a fairly successful way of convincing Americans who are maybe a little bit on the selfish side.
Great, thank you.
Well, there's lots of great individual leaders in the Democratic Party. That's why you're here. I'm worried that just the party's brand at large has been so thoroughly just ruined by right-wing people, but also their own terrible decisions, that the party will always be stuck as a permanent opposition. Besides a total hostile takeover like what Trump did to the Republicans, do you think that the Democrat brand will ever be able to recover?
No, I don't think so. I genuinely don't think the Democratic Party brand will ever recover, but like I said, there's an opportunity there because they're so weak. In 2016, after Bernie's defeat, there were a wave of a lot of progressive candidates who also self-identified as Democratic Socialists. They ran and won. That's where the squad was formed, right? Some of our best politicians came from that group. Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Ayanna Pressley has also been, outperforming my expectations, certainly. And but back then, the Democrats actually had a resistance front, I guess. They were able to take advantage of the growing anger and discontent, and then move organizing in a very liberal direction, where it was just an opposition to Donald Trump, and not necessarily an opposition to the systems that created Donald Trump. This time around, they've completely given up. And that's why I always stress, like, people are very angry. Lifelong Democrats are very angry, and I think that's part of the reason why they are becoming, they are starting to identify as socialists or democratic socialists. They're exploring alternatives that they never thought they would. And if the Democratic Party's brand is failing, we should continue using the election vehicle that exists already within the Democratic Party. An example I can use is Zoran. If Zoran ran as an independent in New York as a DSA candidate, he probably wouldn't have gotten the Working Families Party endorsement, and he probably wouldn't be mayor right now. So there is still opportunity to work within the confines of the Democratic Party, but if they are so resistant to making the necessary changes, then we'll build it ourselves. But as far as salvaging the reputation of the Democrats, that's not what I'm invested in. If they're going to be hostile to salvaging the reputation of the Democratic Party, if they're not going to be a vehicle for change, if they're not going to be an agent for change, then we'll have to design it ourselves.
Do you think the only option then would be a third party for like long-term?
Do you want to say to the mic so people can hear you?
I'm supposed to have the mic back, but this works. Do you think the only way then to kind of have long-term political power would be a third party?
Possibly, yeah. It's entirely dependent on where things go, right? If tomorrow, all of a sudden, there was an overwhelming coalition of socialists within the ranks of the Democratic Party, and then a lot of these other candidates were like, well, I want to cover my bases, I want to make sure that I'm not replaced, I would still want to serve my constituents, I think a lot of other people would follow along. But that's the less likely scenario if we're being real, because as we've seen with the likes of Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, the National Party is not even remotely interested in doing the bare minimum pushback against Trump, and it's actually leading to their own demise. So I'm very pragmatic when it comes to this sort of stuff. If the Democrats will completely retool the party and become a socialist party, great. Do I believe that that'll happen? Probably not. And if that doesn't happen, and there is enough momentum for a robust alternative, a successful alternative, then I believe that there will be a point in time when that separation will take place.
Hi, Hasan. First of all, I wanted to thank you for buying your new soundboard recently. Of course, it only has one sound. It has changed my life. Anyway, my question is the following. Online political spaces often reward the most confident or extreme takes. How do you try to maintain intellectual honesty in an environment where saying, I don't know, doesn't always perform well?
It's a great question. I say I don't know all the time. So I don't know why I've been able to achieve success, regardless of being very open about the limits to my knowledge. As a matter of fact, I have crippling self-doubt all the time. And I do feel like some people take advantage of that, oppositional figures take advantage of that to present me as someone who is not very knowledgeable and present themselves as confident orators who are very skillful, who are very knowledgeable on issues that they don't know anything about. Having said that, I think honesty is the best policy, and you should stay true to yourself. And if there's an issue that you're oblivious on, you just go do the reading and figure it out, and be open with people, be honest with people.
Hi Hasan, I've been watching you for a long time, so it's crazy that you're here. As someone who's not in legacy media, sometimes gets featured on Sky News Australia, how do you feel like people are getting, with the introduction of podcast spaces, Twitch streamers, and YouTubers, how do you feel like that space is changing and influencing people like us, and how do you see it changing in the future?
Yeah, it's both good and bad. The good is what we saw with the pressure campaign and the awareness shift away from unconditional support to Israel, to recognizing the plight of the Palestinians. That was a good thing, and that would not have happened without independent media. Mainstream media has been very pliant to the interests of the State Department, which unfortunately align with Israel's goals of death and destruction. The bad is, there's a lot of bad faith actors out there, there's a lot of grifters out there, there's a lot of people who are taking advantage of the lack of interest from the market in being honest. And this has created an environment where there is basically no consensus reality. It's very destabilizing. So I don't know what the actual solution to this problem is. I just feel like, you know, you just have to engage in media literacy to the best of your ability, and to make sure that you have a healthy media diet of a diverse array of opinions, and you're still taking advantage of the readily available mainstream resources as well. I try to stress the importance of that in my commentary every day. I don't necessarily just across the board shit on mainstream media and say don't listen to the New York Times ever, but I try to hold your hand through the process of reading the news, of understanding the news, while also showcasing the biases that these supposedly independent outlets actually have. But they are still very relevant. They still have journalists, they have massive teams, even though they're getting smaller and smaller, like with what the Washington Post turned into under the leadership of Jeff Bezos, the ownership of Jeff Bezos. But as long as they still exist, you just gotta, take advantage of it to broaden your understanding of the world.
Hello. So during the last New York City mayoral election, you criticized Democrats like Chuck Schumer for withholding their support for Zoran Mamdani. Yet during the 2024 election, you were extremely hesitant and qualified in your support of Kamala Harris, and constantly tell people to not vote for what is the only anti-Trump American party. So my question is, do you regret not enthusiastically endorsing Kamala Harris, given you exercised tremendous sway amongst American leftists? Obviously. Put more broadly, do you think you could better leverage your platform to help anti-Trump candidates win elections, even when those candidates' platforms don't necessarily align with your views? Do you think the Democrats need to become a full-fledged socialist party?
Well, I work with a lot of candidates who aren't full-fledged socialists. I mean, I've literally just had a billionaire on, and he very clearly is not a socialist, as he communicated to me over and over again. But the majority of the candidates I work with, as a matter of fact, are not socialists at all. I mean, Abdul El-Sayed in Michigan, he's not a socialist. Love him. I think he's great. Because, once again, like I've said over and over again, I'm pragmatic. And one thing I will say, as far as the Chuck Schumer versus me dynamic, is it's very simple. Zoran was a great candidate, and that's why Chuck Schumer should have endorsed him as the leader as one of the leaders of the Democratic Party. I, as a Twitch streamer, don't think that I had the responsibility to endorse Kamala Harris, especially when Kamala Harris herself made no investment whatsoever in trying to secure the votes of people like myself. The other side of that story, of course, is that no matter how much sway I have amongst the leftist masses, which I don't think I have that much sway, and overwhelming majority of my audience ended up voting for Kamala Harris, reluctantly, albeit. But the reality of the matter is I can't outflank the party. If Kamala Harris is communicating to the broadest base of support that she can with a multi-billion-dollar, or with a billion-dollar campaign, basically, that she stands for $50,000 in tax credits for small businesses, and a continuation of the genocide, a continuation of Biden's horrible legacy, then I can go on my Twitch stream and be like, guys, what you're hearing from Kamala Harris is wrong. She actually is an anti-Zionist. She's principled on this, and she's going to dissect and destroy the Zionist entity piece by piece. But I'd just be a liar at that point, right? And most people would just look at that and go, okay, well, I'm not getting that from her at all, and now I don't even trust you any longer, right? And that's what I always try to stress to people, this idea that we as individuals bear a larger weight, a larger a piece of the responsibility as opposed to the party itself. If the party chooses to communicate what they're about, we can't really outflank them and then lie to one another and lie to ourselves that the party's actually going to, to represent different values. And no matter how hard we do that, most people that are completely outside of our reach, normal people, working class people that turn on the television and remember that there's an election every 4 years, they're going to see a TV ad and they're going to be like, oh, I guess this is what's going on. This is what Kamala Harris is about. It's not exactly enthusing me to go out and vote for her, and they're just going to stay at home. This is very important for Democrats to understand, and I try to stress that to them all the time when I talk to them in private meetings, when I talk to them in person on camera, is that, like, you have to have a positive vision, and you have to make your case, because no matter how much harm reduction as a theory is correct, right? Because it is correct. The Democrats are better than the Republican Party. I will never vote for a Republican. I will never tell anyone to vote for a Republican. I will always tell people not to vote for Republicans, which is what I stress throughout the election cycle. Most people don't operate on harm reduction. They want to hear something that they want to vote for, rather than vote against the terrifying nature of the Republican Party. I could talk about this for hours, but that's the short and sweet of it, really.
Because of time, we have to move on to our final question right now.
Oh, okay. A lot of pressure. Make this good.
Okay. Hi, Hasan.
I have to pee really bad, guys, so I'm kind of glad that this is going to go ahead.
It's the monster energy. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
It's
coursing through me.
Your broadcast inspired me to study economics in college, like many of us in this room. However, I've come to realize most of my coursework assumes a liberal capitalist framework, and I don't know how many more times I can maximize profit function. I was wondering if you had any academic resources that you recommend to study socialist theory for someone kind of disillusioned with the topic.
As far as Marxian economists goes, Richard Wolff is one, Yanis Varoufakis is another. They have a lot of work on the subject. There's also much more dense material out there that's boring that I, as a non-econ major, have not even thought about reading. But it's important to understand capitalism and how it functions. A guy by the name of Karl Marx was obsessed with it and wrote volumes about capitalism. So I don't think that learning econ or studying econ is a bad thing at all. I think it's actually a good thing. It's important to have a decent understanding of it. And I feel like there are some advanced courses in most college campuses that finally allow you to develop a deeper understanding of alternative modes of production or different systems. But yeah, the entry levels are usually going to be just liberal capitalism. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out again. Join our list here, follow us on Instagram, and have a great night. Thank you.
Sorry for the. Oh, thanks.
Yep.
Sorry for those hiccups, chat. I want to fucking jump, but hopefully it was still good.
Oh my God, I have to pee so bad.
Yeah, go pee. I think the closest bathroom.
Yeah, we'll just run over there, but we'll. there's a meet and greet after this, right?
So we didn't announce it because we didn't want people just like start crowding the stage. We figured usually after events,
Hell yeah.
like that's everything. People come up to the stage and try to say hi.
Yeah.
But if you want to go to the bathroom real quick.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and I'm gonna end the stream as well right here. Thank you, everybody. Tomorrow, like I said, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, the Jam Podcast boys, they're gonna be on, and I'll obviously do my regular news coverage as well. But yeah, thank you for sticking around. I'm only now starting to feel the Monster Energy drink, which is crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna go do a meet and greet now and then maybe get some food. I'm starving.